and a good, solid effort. You're the voice of the Lobos. You call it. You tell me what happened.
Good offensive game against a really tough team. What Wyoming wants to do is slow you down, play 5-on-5, and both teams are really efficient scoring. And it was a little surprising that the Lobos were able to turn the corner because Wyoming was effective all night long. And you look at what Wyoming did shooting-wise, 60% first quarter, 57% second quarter, third quarter, 54%. And then the Lobos able to make enough defensive plays, hold them to 38% in the fourth quarter, hit their free throws down the stretch. And it's just a team that is playing hard, gaining confidence in themselves, and put themselves in a really good position just early with a 4-0 start and good wins over San Diego State and Wyoming.
Look, man, wins early count. And we talk about it all the time. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals not making the playoffs and not feeling bad about it because they started 4-8, whatever. And well, they won 5 in a row down the stretch, and that's cute. And congratulations, and that's really good. And you might be one of the best teams, but these games really count, just like the non-conference games count. And if New Mexico is going to make a run, and their path to the NCAA tournament is going to be three days in Vegas, JJ, right? I mean,
that is correct.
That's just what it's going to be. And so if they're going to make a run, then you want to position yourself as best you can. You want to avoid those first round games and seeding, and these all count. It's big. Do you feel that they're, and I don't want to say coming together because you've watched them all year. Are they getting better each time out?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what's key, right?
Yes. It's a team that, all the cliches you hear, experience, execution, it matters because this is one, you look at it and go, all right, there's Vianney Cumber and Uldus Rakim that have been around a while. But then Destiny Hooks is a first-year D1 player as a sophomore and in the starting lineup. And it's the team's leading scorer. You're starting a true freshman guard from Portugal and Joanna Magalhaes. You kept bringing off the bench still sophomores that are contributing in the rotation. So you have seen this team grow when it comes to execution, following the game plan. And I do think there's a bit of a chip on their shoulder. And they've talked about it as kind of being the underdog. And it's similar to last year's team, where there wasn't maybe a lot of expectations for people around the conference, but you go out there, go 12-6 in conference play, finish in second place. This team has that kind of similar vibe of they're just going to show up and grind, and hopefully it's a game in the fourth quarter.
All right. I'm planning on having Mike Bradbury on with us at 9 o'clock this morning. I know you spoke with him on the post-game show last night. I imagine we could take some of your fresh audio there, but I always enjoy, after a sleep, on a big win, talking to coach, to players, what it meant. And it's been a minute since we've had Mike on. So the plan is, I was told he's available at that time, and you'll have to call him for it. So I'm going through the proper channels, Mr. Buck. So I believe that's right, 9 o'clock. The plan is, I believe, to have Mike Bradbury on with us here on the opening drive. 8:30 this morning. Looking forward to talking to Jerry Palma from CBS Sports as we get ready for the semifinal round of the college playoffs. The Capital One Orange Bowl tonight. Penn State, Notre Dame tomorrow. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Ohio State will play
Texas.
Thank you. I'm like, what? Whatever, man. Look,
Can anyone beat Ohio State?
My brain's in a fog. Like the fact that I'm functioning.
That's impressive.
I'm pretty impressed with me.
I understand, man.
Yeah, no, everybody's been there. All right, 505-246-0610 is how you get here today. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails will come in this morning as they always do at Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com, JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. You can send, or you can watch the show on ProView Networks. Adrian is in this morning, as he is every morning. It's on Xfinity Channel 26, and it's on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. We're all watching these fires. JJ, I'm sick. It hits the sports world, I guess. The Kings may have to postpone a game. The Rams and Vikings may get moved to Arizona on Monday night, which is all so trivial. That's where I grew up, dude. That's my hometown. Like, I mean, this is my hometown now, right after 28 years. I've been here longer than anywhere else. But I know so many people in that area. And the one that sparked the Hollywood Hills, like somebody said, and I don't know if it's credible. I mean, there's so much crap out there. Is someone out there setting fires now? Like, is there a copycat idiot or idiots like out there setting fires? And And some of the vitriol and the loathing and the disgusting things that people post on social media about this, like there's people reveling in this.
Welcome to the world.
No, it makes you want to vomit, man. There's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah, it's a terror. It's just a disaster. But then everyone thinks that everything that happens, it's conspiracy, this or that. Like this was a wildfire that was started, that spread, and then the other ones are popping off. You ask those questions, or how did you get this far here or there? You have 100-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be devastating.
Yeah, and then the water pressure. And look, I don't get into the political stuff later, man. Put out the damn fires and help these people with their lives. Well, they're rich people, and I saw one. I love watching mansions burn. Really? Like with all due respect, first of all, they're not all mansions. Is it a high real estate zip code? Yeah. And we just hate success, huh? If you are successful and you've got a nice home, your house is burning. What the hell? My biggest fear, dude, and I hope to God I'm wrong. When these are all out and they go through, how many bodies are they going to find that people couldn't get out? You know, this one of the Hollywood Hills, if you've ever been up Laurel Canyon, if you've ever been up, you know, if you've been on Sunset Boulevard, right? And like you're down Grauman's Chinese Theater and the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but the hills are right up there. And people, those homes, if you've ever been up there, they're narrow, windy roads. And now as people try to get out of there with emergency vehicles getting in, and people aren't going to be, you guys, this is as big of a catastrophe as I don't have perspective for it. And I know a lot of people who are out of their homes and yes, will it affect the sports world? It does. You know, my family seems to be safe. Thank God. Most of the people I know at this point are safe, but it's like, man, my mom's 87. What's she going to do if like she started yesterday? She said, what would I take? I said, why don't you start thinking about that? Like, honestly.
Yeah, that's such a scary conversation to have, but you're right. It's the way we've seen things moving. It's just stunning. It's one of those, you know, natural disasters that you watch, and then the shots after the fact. It burns all the way to the ocean. Dude. And then just neighborhoods gone.
Whole neighborhoods. It was like when Los Alamos, right? In Cerro Grande in 1999, I think it was, 2020. It's that multiple, like because there's 5 of these damn things. And, you know, like she said, where would I go? I said, you'll figure it out, Mom. I said, make sure, why don't you start thinking about it? Make sure you got a full tank of gas. How much gas is in your car? I think about a quarter of a tank. Why don't you go down the corner and, well, the winds are bad. Okay, Mom, why don't you go down and fill up your tank? Like little things. Oh, no, you're right. I know I'm right. It scares the hell out of you, dude. And any of you, and I don't even care, man. I don't care your political persuasion. I just don't. These are human beings whose lives are being, is destroyed a fair word? I mean, if you get out with your life,
burns down,
yeah,
and you lose everything. When like blocks, entire neighborhoods are gone.
Yeah, schools, churches, synagogues, everything, man. Post offices, dry cleaners, everything. And I see, well, I love seeing mansions burn. There's a special place for you now. Like, and these people who hide behind righteousness. Well, this is what you get for being rich. Really? They're not all rich, man. And even if they are, like, they work to get. It kills me. Adrian said, hills burning all around the J. Paul Getty Museum. All my family's okay. Mother-in-law was asked to pack a bag just in case of evacuation. This sucks. Mostly in Huntington Beach, safe. Just have to wear masks. Yeah, my brother down in Orange County, he said, yeah, I'm just glad I don't live in LA County. But I mean, dude, it's windy down there. And it's brutal, dude. And I know so many of you are from there, have family there, have ties there. Just, I mean, I couldn't, I just couldn't stop watching it, and I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, I just, make me stop. And oh, I know that area. Oh, dude, look where that guy's standing. That guy's on Sunset Boulevard right there. It makes you want to puke. but just some of the vitriol and the disgust on social media. And look, if I'm talking to you, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to apologize. If for some reason you thought, ha, and they deserve, stop it, please. Just put yourself in that position. And by the way, if that's how you feel, then do you feel the same way when a tornado rips through a non-affluent town in Mississippi or Arkansas? What are we doing? All right, I'm off. Can I get off my soapbox now? Should I go down and have Joe get me a lobotomy? I can turn on YouTube and learn how to give me a damn lobotomy. All right, 505-246-0610. When we get back, latest in the NFL, we got injury updates. Who's playing? Who's not? What do we know? What don't we know? Because you got quarterbacks who are questionable. It's a big freaking deal as far as that's concerned. It's the opening drive. My name is Jeff Symbieta. I'm along with JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
Playoff football tonight, college football. You get the Capital One Orange Bowl, Notre Dame and Penn State. Have you looked at the spread? Who do you like? Notre Dame laying a point and a half.
I like Notre Dame.
Do you? Can they score enough?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I once Carson Beck was out. I like Notre Dame to go to the championship game.
Out. Yep. Fair enough. Tomorrow night, you get Texas and Ohio State. Ohio State's 6-point favorite. Is that too much, or you think they just run around the building?
I don't think that's too much.
Okay.
They're playing at a special level right now. Offensively.
They are, man. I know you don't believe in that kind of stuff, and I don't want to believe in it this time. But man, the story of Ryan Day being down and out, and they lose to Michigan and fire his ass, and he may end up winning a national championship. And then what? You extend him and raise him? I mean, if that's what happens.
And then realize this day and age, it's still a rivalry game, but you can lose that and still win a championship.
Yeah, that's how it is. All right, NFL goes on Saturday. All right, there's a lot of questions. Saturday, you get the Chargers and Texans. You get the Steelers and Ravens. The big injury questions are in Sunday's game, especially the second one. Packers and Eagles. How do you bet that game? How do you even pick that game if you don't know who's playing quarterback? Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts practiced for the first time yesterday since sustaining a concussion on December 22. Yesterday was January 8. He's also dealing with a left finger injury, which he practiced limited capacity. The quote from Mekhi Becton, one of the offensive linemen. It was cool to have him out there. It's always good to have your quarterback one back out there. It was dope. He looked great. He looked like Jalen. Sounds like he will play. Through the protocol, it sounds like he is going to go. Packers quarterback Jordan Love also practiced limited fashion on Wednesday. Both he and his coach were brief in their remarks. LaFleur was asked Wednesday if Love was able to throw in practice. Yeah, he was limited. Yeah, on a limited basis. That was his quote. Total. Last time Love really talked about it was post-game. Last week, remember when he came out of the game and Malik Willis ended the game? He was asked how certain he was would play against the Eagles. He just said yes. I'm less certain about Love. Yesterday he said, we'll see. Yeah, I'm hopeful. Hopeful to me doesn't sound as good. I think they both play, but I'm more certain about Hurts. Where are you?
I think they both play. I think it's just coach speak going on. I don't think there's any doubt that Jordan Love won't be playing in that game. And for the Packers coming in, you need Jordan Love to play better football.
Yes.
If you look at what the difference is this season with Green Bay Packers, it's been Jordan Love early in games not being a playmaker, not being able to push football downfield. And they're going to have to do that against this Eagles team that, with Saquon Barkley back there, we've seen how explosive they are, the weapons they have on the outside. You look right at Jordan Love and go, okay, I know Josh Jacobs has been good. You're leaning in the run game. Awesome. You have to be better early in games.
You do. Yeah. Playing from behind isn't going to work all through the playoffs. It certainly isn't. Tampa Bay is playing the Commanders. Tampa Bay has 16 players on the injury report. 16 players. Now, how serious, we'll see. Bucky Irvin's on there. Logan Hall, their defensive end. Tampa Bay's beat up. I don't even know what the spread is. I would guess it's in Tampa. Tampa by 1.5. What are you thinking? Tampa by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa by 3. All right. Who do you like just to win that game? You like the rookie quarterback, or you like a guy who gets it done with a beat up team?
Well, the beat up team, but I do like, Baker Mayfield talking about the running game. This is the case where I trust the passing game and the emergence of the rookie McMillan opposite Mike Evans, because they've been at that, Chris Godwin the majority of the season. Kate Otten didn't play late, and Baker Mayfield still pushing the football downfield, making plays, but they've been able to run the football. Bucky Irvin is another one of those rookies we talk about. This has been an awesome rookie offensive class. And there's 2 of them contributing at a really high level for Tampa Bay. I'm actually leaning the Commanders.
Okay.
In this one.
Just because of why? Because they're healthier? Because you like their quarterback play better? Because you like their weapons better? What?
I think the Commanders can make one more defensive play in a shootout.
So I think the Commanders are a better team. I think Tampa wins on experience, on playoff experience. I think they're pretty evenly matched. And you and I always have this conversation, and I put a little bit more credence maybe than you do into playoff experience, right? And the fact that I got a quarterback who's been there and done it a number of times, as opposed to a really, really talented rookie quarterback. I'm taking nothing away from this young man, and he may do amazing things. But I think the teams are relatively evenly matched. I think now I like Dan Quinn a lot. I like the head coach. Todd Bowles doesn't get enough credit, I think. I think this is the most evenly matched game. I lean Tampa a little bit, A, because they're home, and B, because they got a little bit more experience in this sort of a game. And I don't know, every time a guy makes a mistake in the playoffs and he's yelling, oh, see, it's a rookie mistake first time in the play. I mean, what about when he made a mistake in week 3?
Yeah,
or week 14?
I know you look at the over-unders this weekend and you see Minnesota and Los Angeles at 47.5. The one thing with Washington, Tampa Bay, I could see that being the highest scoring game of the weekend.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that too. On the on the Rams Minnesota game, the NFL says they're monitoring the LA wildfires. They have named a contingency site if, in fact, they can't play in Los Angeles. It's an air quality thing. Now, look, are the fires in Inglewood right now? No, but I mean, holy bleep! Like, I don't know where this whole thing's going. But the NFL said it continues to prepare for the game to be played at SoFi. If it was to be moved, it would take place Monday night at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the home of the Cardinals. I don't know when they have to make a call on this. The Rams were scheduled off on Wednesday. They're slated to resume practice Thursday. They're monitoring the whole thing, obviously. Look, LA's on fire, dude. LA, I mean, this isn't some little fire. This is, think of Lahaina. Think of Los Alamos and multiply it by 50, 60. So that's what's going on here. And so for a football game, they'll figure out what they're going to do with it. A lot of the players' homes were affected. We're not talking about one area of town. I mean, we're talking about Palisades, and we're talking about the Hollywood Hills, and we're talking about Altadena. The pristine Pasadena area. Now it's Sylmar, north of the San Fernando Valley. There's another one there. Yeah, this is bonkers. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to hear your thoughts today. Lobos and San Diego State on Saturday. Aztecs win last night. Tell you how they looked.
Was there like a 40-4 run in that game for the Aztecs?
They held Air Force to 14 points in the second half. Yeah, that's what's coming in here on Saturday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Caught it. Mountain West basketball last night. One game on tap. San Diego State 67. Air Force 38. Aztecs will be in the pit Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Stripe out. Get your section. Figure it out. Lobo women last night at the pit. Big win for the ladies. 73-67 New Mexico over Wyoming. Lobo stay undefeated in conference play. I believe we are going to speak with Mike Bradbury, the head coach, coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Good win for them last night, though, huh? Stay undefeated, get a team that had been on a roll. And I just looking at the numbers last night, and they won 3 out of the 4 quarters. The one they lost was 18-16. It looked like it was tight all night long. They didn't turn the ball over a lot, 14 times. Wyoming was really good with the ball. Second chance points, they win 8-0. And
so that was points off turnovers. It was 14-7. Lobos only turned it over 7 times.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah. Points off.
Wyoming doesn't try to turn you over with the way they played. And it's been a bit of a bugaboo for the Lobos this season is turning that basketball over.
Yeah.
So this was a nice matchup where they didn't deal with the same defense pressure.
Good one last night. All right, 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Good day, sir. Let me do that again. All right.
So you can hear me?
Yeah, I got
Good
you.
day,
now.
gentlemen. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, as we both live in the foothills, things are getting progressively wider. And we may get a pretty good downpour today, so drive carefully. And I hope you feel better. It sounds like you're not doing too well.
Fighting, man.
Yeah. Hey, so I don't have a lot of confidence in either Penn State's coach or Notre Dame's coach, to be honest with you, in the biggest moments. I think they both play it way too conservatively offensively, particularly Penn State's coach. I think that Notre Dame in some capacities, even though they've blown a lot of teams out this year, are a little bit of fool's gold. I think they're good, but not that good. And I think tonight's game, I would lean towards Penn State because defensively, they're rock solid. But open the dang offense up, man. Take some shots downfield. But I think they're both very likable guys. I just think I don't have a high degree of confidence in either one of them, to be honest with you. Okay. And it might be a chance to go see who gets completely taken apart by Ohio State in the championship game.
Do you give Texas? So nobody's given Texas a chance, huh? Like nothing.
Well,
Texas played. Is it because Texas? Is it because Ohio State looks so good, or because Texas played the only competitive game and had to squeak out a win or had to fight to win?
That's a good point, Jeff. And I think the Arizona State game was basically over, and they let them back in the game with that great running back. It was really entertaining game. Not well played, not well coached. I watch Texas because my son goes to the games, and he's a Texas fan. My contention all year is if they wanted to win the championship game, they should be playing Manning. I think their quarterback in the biggest moments, even though he made a big throw against Arizona State in overtime, I think Manning has a higher ceiling than he does. And but they didn't make that choice, so I don't have a lot of confidence in him. Boy, there's a lot of no confidence today.
Yeah,
confidence in you guys.
Yeah,
hey,
you're all about optimism. Yeah.
Let me briefly talk about the NFL. If Baker Mayfield wins this playoff game, he'll have 3 playoff wins, which is one more than Dakota Rain Prescott.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns, and one can argue objectively who's had a better career so far.
I don't even know that I think. I don't know that I think it's arguable, honestly.
Well, no, you might be right, Jeff. And Dakota Rain Prescott is the highest paid player in the NFL. I'm not knocking him. He's a nice
get your money
player.
Get your money.
But it's about value, and people don't want to hear that. Briefly on the Lobo basketball, I don't watch a lot of Lobo basketball, but I have watched this year. Boy, number 2, I think Dent. Yeah. That guy, and he's honestly, let's be real. He's 70 to 80% of their offense. For him to be able to create his own shot at any given point during the game, he's really an amazing talent, and he drives that whole program. There's other good players, guys that make shots, good defensive players, but make no mistake, he is the show. He is the process. He is the program. So,
I think everybody understands.
Whatever they're paying him, double it. Have a good day, guys.
So, yeah, I don't know that anybody's making a mistake. He brings up something. If you said your average football fan, who's had a better career, Dak Prescott or Baker Mayfield? Dak Prescott's making a lot more money. I don't know that I think it's arguable. I think the answer is Baker Mayfield, isn't it? Especially if he wins this playoff game. That'll be 3 for him. Is it arguable? Now, if you're going to say who's a better quarterback,
that's arguable as well. Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott are very comparable players in terms of skill talent.
All right.
There's nothing that Dak does that Baker Mayfield can't do.
You're starting your team. I don't care who you are. Pick your franchise, and you can have one of those 2 quarterbacks. Let's just say you're one of these franchises. You're Raiders. You're the Giants. You're the Jets. You're the hell. You can throw the Saints in there. One of these programs who needs a quarterback. Price is the same. Contract will be the same. Who do you want? You want Dak Prescott? You want Baker Mayfield? I think it's a really fair question.
Yeah, I think this is one that it can really go either way.
Right? You pulling up stats? I see you moving back there.
You know me.
Yeah, no. I'd love to hear the comps.
Dak has had more of an extended run as a starting quarterback, so he's going to have the better numbers overall.
Are they way better though? I mean, like, never mind the weighted. Like, okay, so he's got more touchdowns, but he probably has more interceptions. Are they better?
Dude, the Baker Mayfield has more interceptions than Dak Prescott.
Okay, and
he's played 106 games for Baker, 122 for Dak.
It's not that much different.
Dak Prescott's playoffs. I get it. Dak Prescott's over numbers are good, man.
His regular season numbers are good.
213 passing touchdowns, 82 interceptions.
What's Baker?
171 to 90.
All right, so that's Dak's way better. Yards are going to be way better. What's their winning percentage?
So Baker Mayfield,
as
a starting quarterback, is 50 and 53.
Okay.
Dak is 76 and 46.
All right, so the numbers really sway to Dak. Really sway to Dak. I mean, he's won 30 games more than he's lost. Baker's lost 3 more than he's won. But to Edward's point, if Dak wins a playoff game this weekend, it's going to be more playoff game. I mean, what's it about? I think it's a fair conversation. I haven't really thought about it much, but I think it's a fair conversation. Who do guys play for more? Who do they want to play for more? It's really interesting. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. Jerry Palm is going to be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning from CBS Sports. What do you got?
So Baker is 2-2 in the playoffs, and Dak Prescott's 2-5.
No, I mean, one guy's got a lot more opportunity. No. And when we come back, last night, NBA, 2 of the best teams in the league. In fact, the 2 best teams in the league went head-to-head. No, it wasn't the Lakers and the Celtics. It wasn't the Rockets and the Bucks. It was, did you take a look at this? And what kind of message was sent? Or can a message be sent on a Wednesday night in January in Cleveland? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All-in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry.
Two best teams in the NBA last night. This was like a big NBA showcase last night. Wednesday night, early January, Cleveland, Ohio. It's one of those games, right? Oh, how am I supposed to get up for a game on a Wednesday night in Cleveland in January? I think everybody was up for this one. Did you know, if I didn't tell you, that Cleveland was one of those teams? If I would have came to you yesterday and said, hey, the two best teams in the NBA, one is 31-4, and the other one is 29-6. Would you have known who the two best teams in the NBA are, JJ? You would have. How many people have we walked down the hall? How many right answers have we got? Zero, right?
Zero.
The Cleveland Cavaliers at 32-4, and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 30-6. Oklahoma City is 6 games clear of the next team, and you would go through every team in the damn conference before you tell me who's in second place in the West. You would. The Houston Rockets, and then the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. It is bonkers, man. Cleveland and Oklahoma City went at it last night. Cavaliers end the Thunder's 15-game win streak. Cavs have won 11 in a row. Final score was 120. What was it? 129, 122. Cleveland. I don't know how much you caught of this, and I don't know that I believe yet that this is going to be the final. Although I think Oklahoma City's got a real good chance to get through the West.
Oklahoma City is the best team in the Western Conference, with or without Chet Holmgren, and they're doing this without Chet Holmgren. Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics are the best team in the Eastern Conference,
and they're still 5 games back.
But the Cleveland Cavaliers, this isn't a team you look at and say, they need to learn this and they need to learn that. In the playoffs last year, They have a guy that's been there, done that to lean on, and Donovan Mitchell. These guys have played a lot of basketball now. Mobley, Allen, Garland, they're legit. So I'm looking at them as Eastern Conference Finals potential for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the game last night, it had them focused, confidence, go out there and play a team that has finals aspirations, because Oklahoma City is that good.
Donovan Mitchell, as you mentioned, is kind of their cornerstone. 3 for 16 last night. Right? 3 for 16. And they still win last night. Cleveland is 32-4. They're on pace. Now, I don't know that I think they sustain this pace. In fact, I would tell you I don't think they do. But they're on pace to match the Warriors' regular season record of 73 wins back in 2015, 2016. They're fun. If you're just starting, look, I get it. There's a lot to consume. I mean, hell, the golf league's on, for crying out loud. Get yourself some golf league, right?
You and Coach can talk about the golf league.
In fact,
he'd rather talk about that.
I promise you, I'm talking to Bradbury about the golf league. After we talk about Level Women's Basketball at 9 o'clock with Mike Bradbury, because they had a big win yesterday. But I get a lot of people's progression is your attention is, your sports calendar runs, August through July, and it's football, it's pro and college football. And then maybe you dabble a little bit in the college basketball, especially in this market. And the NBA starts to come into focus somewhere in March. And I get it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm somewhat guilty of it too. I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I did dabble over and flip over.
Well, this is one of those headline games.
Well,
absolutely a marquee game with when you open your eyes to the records and go, oh, wow. The 2 best teams in basketball right now.
Yeah.
And they showed up and showed out.
Yeah, no, that they absolutely did last night. So that was something to watch. If you're just kind of looking at the standings and going, all right, wait, who's what? And I know Sacramento fired their coach and all these things. The top 6 teams in the East: Cleveland, Boston, the Knicks, the Magic, the Bucks, and the Pacers. And Philadelphia's on the outside of the playoff, or even the play-in right now, looking in. In the West, Oklahoma City, Houston, Memphis, Denver, Dallas, and the Lakers. Lakers are 1.5 game clear of the Clippers to stay out of the play-in tournament. It's like where the Lakers live, man, right? If let's just say the Lakers, let's say they finish 6th. And let's say they even win a series and get knocked out in the conference semifinals. In this case, it would be by Memphis. I don't think I think they're Memphis. They beat Memphis, but let's say it's Dallas or Denver. What's LeBron's legacy in LA going to be? They won the one championship. They did. There was the COVID championship in the bubble. Did he hurt or help his legacy by going to LA?
I don't think he hurt it at all. I don't think it was anything where it allows people to have a debate that pushes him over Jordan, because that's where it goes. It's LeBron versus Jordan that everyone can try to throw out.
So his legacy was solid.
I do think it was solid.
I agree.
I do. Now, I think a lot of people will say it's underwhelming.
He put up a lot
only win one championship.
He put up a lot of individual numbers in Los Angeles. He made a lot of money. He put up a lot of individual milestones. He became the all-time leading scorer in the NBA there. He did, the over 40 thing, the thing with his son there. There are a lot of individual things. Does he have to win another championship there? He's not an all-time Laker, right?
He's never going to be an all-time Laker.
Or is he?
Not. I don't think he will be, just because, and it's just how Laker fans are entrenched with
Guys who win
Kobe,
multiple championships.
Shaq.
They all won multiple
Yes.
championships.
Even if he wins multiple championships, I just think he's too polarizing of a player to become that figure.
So
for Laker fans,
if you look, I think the two all-time favorite Lakers. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Pick your order: Magic and Kobe. Okay, they played their entire careers there, right? They didn't play anywhere else. I don't know that matters. Shaq played elsewhere, but you still think of him as a Laker. Wilt Chamberlain played with Philadelphia, but you still think of him as Laker, even though he scored his 100 points in Philadelphia, right? But the all-time Laker like that you think of, Worthy was only a Laker, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't play anywhere else. Does that matter? I don't think he tarnished his legacy either, by the way. I don't think he enhanced it nearly as much as he thought he was going to. He had a lot of individual accolades. You know what? It's been a long time since we had John Ireland on, huh? Voice of the Lakers. Probably should reach out to him. Now's not the time with everything going on in LA. All right, 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. We'll get into the college football playoff. The Capital One Orange Bowl is set for tonight. Notre Dame and Penn State. Tomorrow night, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Texas and Ohio State. Bill Belichick's got a job. Will he ever coach a game at North Carolina? Not if somebody with a little bit of influence has their way. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, thank you for being with us. Be part of the radio show, 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Back at the playoffs tonight, you get a little footy tonight. No golf league tonight. I think that's just on Tuesdays. Oh, yeah, buddy. Big win for the Lobo women last night out at the pit. New Mexico stays undefeated in league play. They defeat Wyoming 73-67 behind 20 points from Destiny Hooks, 16 points from Vienna Cumber, and the Lobos beat the Cowgirls. Hey, you call them the Cowgirls on the air? Is that what it is?
Yes, they're the Cowgirls.
They are. They're officially the Cowgirls. 73-67. Next up, you're going to Vegas for a nationally televised game on CBS Sportsnet this weekend to take on, what's the best team in the league, right? I mean, UNLV?
UNLV?
Yeah.
They're 3 straight regular season and Mountain West championships. Best backcourt in the league. They are legit.
Yeah. So you get that. Tomorrow, Richard Pitino will speak, and we're looking at Lobo men's basketball. Saturday morning in the pit, 11 a.m. on CBS. San Diego State will be in to play the Lobos. San Diego State held Air Force to 14 points in the second half last night, 67-38. Aztecs beat the Falcons, and so they'll get on a plane tomorrow, and they'll head out to Albuquerque. And, hey, I got one of these, JJ, Dan's on the game time. You want an email on the game time, on the 11 o'clock game time? You ready? I mean, everybody complains about it, right?
Everybody complains.
I'm going to give you a little change of pace. Dan says, I love this post time, Jeffrey and Juan Jose.
Shocked.
This way you can watch Lobo basketball and get on with your day. You don't have to kill all day waiting for the game. It's from Dan. I think it's the first time Dan may have said he likes something. I could be wrong. I get people mixed up. The people complain about game time. So I do have a question. So Dan, you can watch Lobo basketball and get on your day as opposed to kill all day waiting for the game. Why can't you do stuff early in the day? Like if it's a late game, let's say it's 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever. Why can't you do stuff during the day before the game? Is that a fair question? Either way, you have a bunch of your day on either side, right? And then you get the NFL right after that. This will be the lead into the NFL.
Pregame for NFL playoffs on CBS.
Yeah, that's what this is. All right. Bill Belichick is the head coach at the University of North Carolina. I think it's a $10 million buyout if he leaves before what? Before the summer, I think it is. Tom Brady's the new owner, or one of the new owners, or a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders 2 days ago fired their head coach, Antonio Pierce. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowls together during their time with New England. Belichick was the boss. Brady was the quarterback. Multiple teams, including, by many reports, Tom Brady and the Raiders, have inquired about whether Belichick would consider stepping down from North Carolina and coming back to the NFL. JJ, remember when he took the Carolina job and all the haters were out saying, see, he did this because he can't get an NFL job, right? Because he didn't get one in the last cycle. Because by every report, Bob Kraft talked Arthur Blank, the Falcons owner, out of hiring him. And so all the haters were out there telling me, he can't get an NFL job, so he's got to resort to this. I'm like, you guys are out of your mind. In this cycle, somebody will hire Bill Belichick. NFL media is reporting that multiple teams have reached out. Brady recently spoke, according to the reports, with Belichick about what it would take to make a reunion happen. He's been in touch with Belichick as recently as the Raiders were mulling over the Antonio Pierce thing. Belichick is staying where he is. Quote, I didn't come here to leave. He coaches a year there, right? I get what they're doing, and $10 million to go buy it out and turn it over to his kid. That would be the way this works, right? He would turn it over to his kid, probably at North Carolina.
I do think it's fascinating that now there's a push from teams to want to reach out to Bill Belichick. And
this is when the jobs are open.
There were jobs open last year.
Right.
But in the way that the narrative around the NFL was, it's can't do the Belichick way anymore, man. If he doesn't have Tom Brady, he ain't that dude. Then you get the college job. You see these teams go one and done with these head coaches. And they're like, wait a second. Maybe we could use some of that Bill Belichick now back in our building.
Why would he take the Raiders job? Like, with all due respect.
And it's not, and everyone says, no, Tom Brady's there. Wasn't at the end there a problem between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady?
Look, there was a problem between Shaq and Kobe, and they even things out. People have problems. But when you walk away from a situation...
Okay, but that's also... Now you're kind of walking into a building in a much different...
I agree.
...thing where Tom Brady, even minority...
Way
owner,
minority.
Yeah, but Tom Brady has a heck of a lot of pull in that organization.
Okay, look, I think you'd acknowledge this. There are many, whether it's in life, whether it's in business, whatever, high profile, you've had a lot of success, you butt heads, it doesn't end well. And then a couple of years later, you re-examine, damn, dude, why are we mad? I look at so many things that relationships that, whether it was a pair or a team or a trio, where people got sideways and got reunited later and had success, or at least had good relationships. Yeah, no, you're right, dude. At the end, it was evidently.
I don't feel that there's a happy ending at all between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Okay,
like that in terms of him coaching the Raiders.
Well, I don't think it's because of Brady and Belichick. I just don't think the Raiders are a good situation. How does he go in there and win right away? He didn't win once Brady was gone, and he had Mac Jones as his quarterback. They didn't win, right? Like, I would sit here and argue with you. He's got a better chance to do good things in North Carolina and be successful. I don't care about this dude's legacy is cemented. He didn't have to do a damn thing. He's 15 wins shy of Don Shula to be the all-time winningest coach in the NFL. He didn't have to do a damn thing to cement his NFL legacy. But I would argue that he's got a better chance to be successful in the immediate at North Carolina more so than with the Raiders.
Yes.
Like, why would he go to the Raiders other than money? And dude's got money. And he's making money. If you were going to lure him to a job, what job would it be? Would it be the Cowboys? If he was going to be lured, and I don't think he will, I think he's going to honor his commitment for a year. I think he will do 1 year at North Carolina. And then I think he'll be back in the NFL. That's what I think. Dude's 73. But he's got a 24-year-old girlfriend that's keeping him young, I guess. I don't know. But what situation that's open right now would lure him that you would say he's got a better chance to be successful there than he does at Carolina? Is it the Bears? The one is Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, it's the rest of the division.
I mean, that's a guy who could go in and make it a difference with what we still believe is a good quarterback. As much as we've watched Trevor Lawrence not progress the way we all thought Trevor Lawrence would progress, but I just believe that he made a commitment to North Carolina. Dude, if he leaves Carolina now, and that portal opens and all these guys he's been bringing in, I think that there's something to be said about your word, isn't there? And I do believe he's old school like that, where he probably told Brady, like, Tommy, I gave my word. I mean, I'm not coming over, and you don't have a quarterback, and you're not playing quarterback, right? I just, why? Do you believe he'll be back in the NFL at some point?
I think the meter on my belief has ticked up a little bit, but I do think he's in for a few years at North Carolina.
Do you think I think he's in for a year, but I can hear you at a few. Do you think he's regretting it with the interest from the NFL now?
No.
I don't either.
Because the interests are from messes.
Well, that's usually how jobs open, right?
Okay, but if you're Bill Belichick, you're not. There's also the sense of why do I need to go clean up a mess?
Do you believe
it would be, like the stuff that interested me were when at the end of the last year, when, whether it was real or not, but there was questions about like Nick Sirianni or like playoff teams that
I
feel
still
they need
think that's out there.
Playoff teams that can't get over the hump. That's what I think would interest Bill Belichick, not going to clean up an organization.
That was my next question. Do you believe, because I do, that there will be another job open as playoff teams drop? What if Philly gets beat by Green Bay this weekend? That job opens, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm not ready to jump on the bandwagon and tell you, like everybody else does, Nick Sirianni sucks.
That would be the only one.
Because all they do is win. I think that's
like Pittsburgh is not going to move on from
I agree with that.
As much as Steeler fans want that to happen.
I agree.
The only possibility of a playoff team this year would be
Tampa.
Let's say Philadelphia number 2. I could see Tampa.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else makes a move. I'm with you. All right, Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30 this morning from CBS Sports. We'll talk to him about the latest on the college football playoff. The Orange Bowl, that would be the Capital One Orange Bowl. That is tonight. Notre Dame and Penn State, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, which will be tomorrow. Texas against Ohio State. We'll do that 8:30. Planning on talking to Mike Bradbury this morning, 9 o'clock, global women's basketball coach. Hey, who's watching your home when you're not there? Hopefully it's the good guys, not the bad guys. I've trusted IPS, International Protective Service, for years to watch my home. I'm not the only one. Hundreds of homeowners and business owners all around Albuquerque and in Santa Fe trust IPS. It's affordable, private security to keep safe what you've worked so hard to build. IPS has officers strategically placed around Albuquerque, now in Santa Fe. They react quickly. Many times they catch criminals in the act. They detain them. Police come and pick them up. IPS provides standing guards. If you need eyes on your property around the clock, and they install alarms and camera systems, they have a state-of-the-art facility that monitors those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your home and your business. So who's watching your home? Who's watching your business when you're away? A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business? That's what IPS does. It lets you sleep better at night. Call IPS. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. Do not wait to be a victim. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone. leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
'49ers not releasing Deebo Samuels, and they want to get their deal done with Brock Purdy. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. He is a Brock star. What's he going to get paid? Niners general manager John Lynch, the head coach Kyle Shanahan, and the quarterback Brock Purdy made it clear they all intend to reach an agreement. They want it done sooner rather than later. This is Lynch, the GM, on Wednesday. Quote, I think what we know about Brock is that he's our guy. We have interest in Brock being around here for a long, long time. He's done so much for our organization. He's won big games, had a little tougher task, as we all did this year with some of the things that happened throughout the course of the year. We just never could string games where we were all together. And through that, he continued to lead. He continued to play at a high level. So we have every interest in him being around. End quote. You believe in the sooner or later thing?
Sooner
than later. I'm sorry. I probably should have quantified that much more clearly.
I
sooner
do.
Than later.
Brock Purdy has discussed it, and I think this is a deal that's not going to end up being the biggest contract in the NFL. It's going to be one where Brock makes some money, but there's no way that the Niners can continue on this trajectory and Brock Purdy can elevate this team if he has a $60 million contract.
All right. So context. Dak Prescott's making about $60 million a year. Joe Burrow's making about $55 million a year. Baker Mayfield's making what, about $30 million, $28 million a year? Something along those lines. He's a bargain. Brock Purdy, who went to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship. Was it last year they were in the Super Bowl? They were, right? He was in the Super Bowl last year, one possession away from winning it. The year prior, went to the NFC Championship game before he hurt his elbow, couldn't throw the ball. Christian McCaffrey was out there taking snaps because their backup quarterback was hurt. Brock Purdy, again, what did I tell you? 60 million, 55 million, 30 million a year. Brock Purdy's annual average salary is $934,000 a year. He has 1 year left on that. He's slated to make $1.1 million against the cap. How does that happen? He was the last pick in the draft. He wasn't supposed to make it. So the Niners have benefited from this. And to your point, JJ, now they're going to have to pay him. Now, where does he slot? 50, 45? And I'm going to guess, and I don't know Brock Purdy. I'm going to guess. Well, I don't know. How would you handle this? If it was you, if you're Brock Purdy, and you were grossly underpaid for your performance, do you want to recoup some of that? Or are you saying, dude, if you pay me $45 million a year, I'm living? Like you give me a 5-year, 180 or 4-year, $180 million deal, I'm good.
I think you go in with confidence and set the bar high with a willingness to come down a bit, and you're not playing on a super discount. It's going to be bigger than Baker Mayfield's contract, which was 3 years, $100 million.
Yep,
it's about $33 million per year. If you came in at $50 million per year, you'd be the 10th highest quarterback in terms of annual average value,
which is
and
fair.
Then what all these contracts come down to is guaranteed money.
That's right.
You could be like, oh, my salary is $1 per year, but when you sign that contract, you got $150 million guaranteed.
Like Jameis Winston, the year that they took 11/17 of his. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson. Where they took 11/17 of his money. Yeah, and it was only $1 million. I say only $1 million, but because the next year he made like $60 million.
And it's just it, and it's one that just because Dak got that deal doesn't mean you have to give that deal to Brock Purdy.
I agree. And I don't know that if I'm Brock Purdy, I need to demand that. I can live pretty well on $50 million a year. I could probably live pretty well on $45 million a year. And have a team around me where I'm not crippling the franchise, and maybe that means we can bring Debo back. We've got Brandon Ayuk signed. I've got an oft-injured running back now who's been the focal point of this offense. What are we going to do there, right? They're banged up to pieces. Like I agree with you. I'm going to guess he comes in right in that $50 million range. And you're going to go, holy bleep. And you're not wrong. To you and me, to us common folk, yeah, holy bleep. But from the quarterback market, would you say that slots him about 10th? It's a fair slot, isn't it? It's probably underslotted. But if I got to raise from under $1 million to $50 million a year, kind of changes my life, doesn't it? The day I sign that check. And then what's the first thing you do? You open your app and you look at your balance in your bank account.
Wow.
Is that the first thing you do? Like, just look at it. Just go, whoa, right? You ever get a bonus check or a commission check or like a tax refund, right, when it hits? You just look at your account and go, oh, right? How about that? That'd be a different story. But yeah, Prescott's making about $60 million a year. Purdy said he's really not sure. This was what he said. I'm really not sure when he was asked about topping that number, the Prescott numbers. Is that important to him? But he made it clear he wants to get something done as fast as possible. Quote, more than anything for me, I want to be able to handle business the right way, do it in a respectable manner, get back to my team as fast as I can to get going. That's my mindset, my focus. And obviously I want to help the team across the board with all the other guys that need to get their deals done, but everybody will handle it the right way and how they need to. End quote. I don't know who his agent is. That's going to be a big part of this too, right? Some agents just demand top of the market salaries, and some are going to be a little bit more amenable. So, but that's pressing. I think that's one of the first deals that gets done. I do believe that organization and that individual feel like that's going to be something that gets done relatively quickly and amicably because it needs to. Because it needs to. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get in today. Got a couple emails for you. Omar's in. Omar plus Ramit equals the Super Bowl belt. Jeff, as you know, he's a big Cowboy fan, or was. As you know, I've been looking for a new bandwagon to jump on. Is there room on the Ram It bandwagon, at least during the state tournament, so Omar can take a test drive? Jump on, brother. There's always room. There's always room on the bandwagon. Sarah wants to know, how's that coach employed still at 22 or 72-20, JJ? Wyoming's been the most underachieving team in your league the last few seasons. Are they? Cowgirls? Because they lost at the Pit by 6 points last night. Are they underachieving? Should they fire the coach?
Pretty sure that
they make deep NIT runs all the time, don't they?
Well, yeah, and that's completely changed over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they won the conference the year before UNLV took over.
And now UNLV owns it.
Ezel, but she was on that staff. I don't know what kind of expectation
Sarah wants her
Wyoming's working with.
Yeah, Sarah wants her out. All right, when we come back, Jerry Palm's going to be with us. He of CBS Sports. We'll get into the college football playoff, some of the news coming out of college football, his thoughts on bowl season as well. Should I ask him about the golf league? No, we'll just do that with Bradbury at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Down in Miami tonight, that will be Notre Dame and Penn State. There is not a weather issue there. The Cotton Bowl, or the Goodyear Cotton Bowl if you prefer, set to be played as scheduled as of now on Friday. There is severe inclement weather in that region, expected to continue to hit that region. Forecast project they could receive more than 4 inches of snow. And you're like, whatever, man, 4 inches of snow. They do that all the time in Minnesota and in Green Bay and in Denver. I know, but they don't typically do that down in Texas. And that's where Texas and Ohio State are set to go. The Cotton Bowl, and Rick Baker is a stud who runs that game. Rick Baker's a great bowl guy and terrific executive director. Quote, we continue to monitor weather reports over the last 24 hours. The forecast for later this week is improved. We've been meeting routinely with city officials, the director of transportation for North Texas and college football, blah, 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 blah. So they're planning on going as scheduled. In the past 40 years, and I didn't know this, Dallas-Fort Worth has only received 4 inches of snow on 3 separate occasions. And that's what they're expected to get now. Only 3 other times has Dallas-Fort Worth gotten 3 inches of snow. One of the 3 came in February 2011, right before the Super Bowl. But they don't get this a lot. All right, we're efforting Jerry. He's evidently unavailable at this point. Looks like it. I got a couple buddies who are going over and watching the Cotton Bowl. They're going over tomorrow, and the weather. Dallas has been getting wrecked, dude, with weather. Bowl week for us. People coming over from TCU were telling me all kinds of travel problems while we were sitting here in 60 degrees and perfect. I know somebody who was trying to get over to Birmingham to watch Diego Pavia play in the Birmingham Bowl. Got stuck in Dallas, couldn't get how to turn around and come back. They've been getting hammered by weather. So we got real stuff going on everywhere, man. And then you got little games that you're, I want to play the game. I get it. I get it. All right, let me give you a couple of texts that you're sending in, 505-246-0610. We had a conversation earlier. If you were starting a roster right now, I don't care if you're the Giants, the Raiders, whomever it is that you think you need a quarterback. Baker Mayfield or Dak Prescott? It's not that cut and dry, is it? Text line says if Baker Mayfield were on the Cowboys this year instead of Dak Prescott, they would have made the playoffs. Do you believe that?
No.
I'm not sure I do either.
Because if Dak Prescott played the whole year, would they have been able to win 11 games?
I don't know. I don't know that I just think that the rest of that roster was that good. The defense was atrocious for most of the season. They weren't scoring a ton of points. No, I don't know that I think that roster was good enough to be a playoff team, whether it was Dak Prescott, as this says, or if it was Baker Mayfield. In regards to starting times for Lobo basketball, Steve from Michigan says, remember, Jeff, it's too early. It's too late. It's too cold. It's too Saturday. No, understood. Although that one caller finally, or that emailer finally said, yep, I'm down with it. This one says, realistically, fellas, how long is it going to take to turn the Raider franchise around? The only real talent they had was Jacobs, who they shipped off to the Packers. So that was their only, that's not right. That's just not right. Devontae Adams was pretty good. They shipped him off to the Jets.
Offensive players still on that team.
Max Crosby? Yeah, that's where I was going. Offensively, they had a little bit of talent, and their best player is Max Crosby. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to yesterday's conversation. Why would you take that job instead of where you are in North Carolina when your quarterback situation is in such absolute flux and you have no idea how you're getting out of it? Right? You're Aiden O'Connell and you're Gardner Minshew, and how are you getting out of it? There's not great quarterbacks deep in the draft. There's not a great free agent class of quarterbacks. You're going to have to try to find a way to be creative and make a trade, right? Like, honestly,
for who?
I
that's the thing. It's
100%
right now.
Right.
The Raiders passed on trying to grab one of the 6 last year.
They should have got Michael Penix. He was sitting right there for them.
They could have traded up. They didn't.
They didn't even have to. It was sitting right there. Did they? Were they right below Atlanta? All right. So they could have traded up. They didn't. So what's the out now? Where do you go? Is it Kirk Cousins? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Are you trying to stopgap this thing?
Yes. It's all right. They bring in one of those guys that's going to be on the market, try to salvage a season, but the future is not going to be decided at quarterback. And it's also, what level of expectations do you have? You were one and done with Antonio Pierce because
why?
What did you expect him to do with that roster?
Exactly.
And so you're entering the offseason with less of a chance of finding a quarterback because you're not in a draft where it was as deep. You're going to ask yourself the question, if you go after one of these guys, is it Dylan Gabriel? You have to
is he going to
come back into the first round, see a second-round quarterback, because it's Cam Ward, Stuart Sanders at the top. That's going to be the
conversation. And you're not getting either one of them.
You're not getting either one of those guys, and it's not as good as last year where you were talking, and here's Michael Penix, and here's McCarthy, and here's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Yeah. Bo Nix was the last one. Could they have taken Bo Nix? Did they draft before or after the Broncos? I know they were either right before or right after. And look, man, Brock Bowers is really good. I'm not telling you that they didn't get a good player, Brock Bowers. But did you need a really good tight end, or did you need a quarterback?
You need a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. I got no problem with you going out and getting a really good tight end if you have a quarterback. Your quarterbacks were Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Like right now, Gardner Minshew is your guy next year, isn't he?
It's Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell's better than Gardner Minshew.
Okay. All right. You feel
It's
better?
not saying a lot, but
You feel better?
Like Aiden O'Connell is one of those guys that I'm happy if he's my backup.
Yes.
The problem for the Raiders is he's your starting quarterback right now.
Yeah. Text line, other than the desire to be a head coach in the NFL and being in Las Vegas, there isn't anything really attractive about that Raiders team. I don't disagree with you.
Which is why I think having the Bill Belichick conversation doesn't go anywhere.
No.
So the Raiders were 13. So they didn't have a quarterback sitting there.
No.
They had to make a move.
Yeah, they had to make a move.
And they didn't.
They probably figured somebody would slip. Out of the 6 quarterbacks, someone would slip to 13. Yeah, they probably figured something was going to slip. And instead, Brock Bowers slipped. And look, man, he's a stud. And he's going to be a really good tight end in that league for a long, long time. And he's going to make a big difference, but not the kind of difference a quarterback makes.
You just had him set the rookie reception record. And what was your overall record as a team?
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. This says, it's from Bruce. Jeff, this is the first Thursday I remember that Smooth Jerry wasn't locked and ready to fire. Yeah, Jerry's got to have something going on. Jerry's always ready. So, and there's a real good chance he's traveling down to Miami right now. Or to Dallas for one of those games. All right, Mike Bradbury's set to be with us coming up, I believe, at 9 o'clock. Right? What's my word? I use scheduled. Mike Bradbury's scheduled to be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll talk to the Lobo women's basketball coach about the big win last night, going to Vegas on Saturday, or on Sunday, right? Sunday? When are you in Vegas? Sunday?
It's a home game.
It's a home game. Sunday? Oh,
Sunday, 2 p.m.
I knew it was a home game. I just didn't remember the date. And, of course, we'll talk to him about the golf league. And did he watch on Tuesday? Because, well, I mean, who didn't? 505-246-0610. It's here to win, not just show up. That's what the Broncos are saying. Do they have a chance going up to Buffalo? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros
Jerry. I am too. I can't remember in all the years we worked with Jerry that he wasn't there on a Thursday segment. Ralph, along with sending a surf report and pictures. Surf report, by the way, waves continue. Fun swell. Santa Ana conditions. Get some. North County, San Diego. It's a little smoky from the fires, he said, but it's way up in L.A. People are worried about Jerry. Yeah. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. And for whatever reason you're still paying a toll, you get football playoffs tonight, college football today and tomorrow. Then the NFL takes over Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Broncos are going to Buffalo, JJ. This is the one game where, well, there's two games. I don't know. A lot of people are giving the Steelers much chance, right? Most people are all over the Ravens to win that game, right? Steelers have lost 4 in a row. The one tricky thing there is the Steelers' record against the Ravens and Lamar. Steelers have been good against that particular team. And then there's the Broncos going up to Buffalo. Wide receiver Cortland Sutton of the Broncos said, quote, one of the biggest misconceptions, the Broncos are satisfied with making it to the postseason. I don't want to be handcuffed by just making it, just because we haven't done it in so long. This is Bo Nix now. If we're going to make it, we might as well go win some games. Honestly, it'd be a shame to get this far, start enjoying where you are, and then become complacent, not do your best in this game when you have a chance to go out there and compete to go win. Broncos, I don't even know what the spread is. I'll find it for you. It's actually, you put it on here, right? Is it 8.5? Yeah. You give them any chance?
It's the right mindset to say, hey, we're not just happy to be here going out to compete. The Bills are just that much better. Josh Allen is playing special football. I think there's going to be some opportunities for Bo Nix to make plays. But on the road, Buffalo, Josh Allen, I don't think it's going to be one where they lose because they were just happy to be there. You know, the Bills are just that much better than Denver.
Give me a road team that's going to win this weekend. It's the Chargers, right?
Chargers.
Yep. I know you like the Commanders.
Commanders and Vikings.
I think the Rams beat the Vikings. If it's in LA. Now, if it moves to Arizona,
I have confidence in.
All right. Packers could win. I think I like the Eagles. The Rams win if it's in SoFi. If they have to move it to Arizona because of the fires, I think you lose the home field.
That Ram energy in SoFi.
Well, you lose the home field, right? You just now it's in a totally new. I don't know how many people are going to be there. Then I think maybe Minnesota wins. I love the way the Rams are playing. I love the way the Rams offense is playing, and I think that young defense. Everybody told me Aaron Donald's gone and their defense is going to bleep.
Oh, they drafted very well.
They drafted really well mid-rounds of the draft.
Not even mid-rounds, first.
Well, Curse has been great. Yeah, Verse has been great.
Kobe Turner.
Look.
Frisk.
But then go down and look what else they built with. It's very Seahawk-esque in some respects. And if they rested everybody, if you're going to tell me Nakua, Kupp are healthy, Stafford's healthy, I think Minnesota's defense is as good as there's been in the league this year.
Yeah, they're really aggressive, but they're going against a great offense in terms of scheme, and Stafford's seen everything.
Well,
and one thing with Minnesota too is, how are they feeling coming after that Detroit game?
I think they're fine. I think they're fine. I'll give you this, all right? And I really like both Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold, okay? So I don't want you to think I'm taking anything from them. I'm fans of both of them. Who do you give the coaching edge and the quarterback edge to in that game?
The Rams.
You do, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like that.
I think that O'Connell, with what he's worked with the last 2 years and how good Kirk Cousins was, and now Sam Darnold. Like, that's close. It's not close to me. Even Sam Darnold having an unbelievable season, it's still Stafford.
Agree.
Like, it's not just look at the resumes. He's still playing at a really high level.
And this is Kevin O'Connell's first real run at this. And again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I do believe that some experience matters. Like when you get to the playoffs, It does. How do you get the experience? You ask me this all the time. You got to go do it, right? You got to have a chance to go do it. They're getting their chance. Look, if the Vikings win, I won't be shocked. This is not one that I'm going to be shocked. In fact, the Vikings are favored. They're a point favorite on the road. But when you typically look at the games, you tell me, all right, what are the two most important positions in a franchise? It's the head coach and the quarterback, right? Head coach and quarterback, while I think Minnesota's are both really, really good, I give the advantage to LA, and that's why I like what the Rams are doing. And the Rams relatively rested last week while the Vikings didn't. The Rams kind of had I mean, they played, but they didn't play everybody. All their studs were out.
Yeah, but they also rested, but then they put themselves
in a position where they got to play the Vikings. Yeah. No, I get it. As opposed to where they would have to play the Packers or the Commanders. It would have been the Commanders. Yeah, with a rookie quarterback. All right, Mike Bradbury next. Lobo women's basketball playing really well. Another big win last night. What's coming up next for them? Let's catch up with the head coach of Lobo women's basketball, Mike Bradbury, with a big nationally televised game coming up on Sunday at the Pit. It's the opening drive, along with the voice of the Lobos, JJ Buck. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Bring it back.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today.
Wyoming last night. The final score was 73-67. UNLV is the other unbeaten. Sunday, 2 o'clock in the pit and on national TV. It'll be the two teams at the top of the standings in the Mountain West Conference, New Mexico and UNLV, live on national TV at the top of the Mountain West standings in the pit. Get yourself out there on Sunday afternoon. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on this beautiful Thursday morning. Big win last night. 73-67 was the number. Lowell women have won 4 in a row. They've won 6 out of their last 7. Their head coach is in his 9th season at the helm of Lowell women's basketball. Mike Bradbury joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Mike. How you living?
Doing good. Thanks, Jeff.
Congratulations. That was a big one last night. You're in a stretch right now where when you're looking at what you got here with UNLV and then Colorado State and then Utah State, this is a stretch. Big one on Sunday, but you had to concentrate, get it done last night. Only 7 turnovers, granted against a team that isn't a big high-pressure defensive team, but I know that's been a big point of contention for you is to focus on taking care of the basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a big part last night is they're so efficient on offense that we had to make sure we somehow got more shot attempts. And the only way for us to do that is to win the turnover battle and then do it the best we can on the boards.
You know, I look at it, and you look at the standings, and there's 2 teams sitting at the top at 4-0. They count, man. All these games count. I understand pressure ramps up as you get closer and closer to tournament time, but winning these games early in conference play is a big deal. And I think that's one thing that your program has always recognized is don't give them away early, and you've taken advantage of a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It is a big deal. And, you know, every game is a game unto itself, and you have to treat it like that. And all these things that happen in early January, late December, that's what affects you in March and where your seeding is and where you finish and if you can win a regular season championship.
Are you getting better every day? Do you feel like your club's getting better each time out?
We have been. Since probably the week before Christmas, we had about a week off either during exams or right after exams, and then we played just 2 really tough home games in our tournament and where we split. We really started getting better during that stretch. And even the game we lost, we played really well. And then we came back after Christmas focused and healthy, and we weren't quite as banged up. And we've played 4 legitimate A games for us. You know, our ceiling is what it is. But we can play a style in a way that if we play our A game, we'll be competitive in any game we play.
When you say our ceiling is what it is, what is your ceiling?
Well, I'm not 100% sure yet. You know, we don't have an overwhelming star, a player of the year, something like that that's developed yet. But we've got V and Destiny, who are all conference type players. We have a bunch of other players that on any given night can be really good. And so far we've got 3, 4, and 5 scorer has come through for us in each game. It's just been somebody different.
And Coach, you talk about that growth, and I know it's something we discussed, and it's just also teaching the process of it. I know something you work on, and really the mental side of it is these young student athletes, the work that it takes every single day to be ready for what comes during a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, it is something that we do every day. And we don't talk about winning and losing. We talk about the prep in the 2 days before. And those 2 days are what's going to determine how we play. And I believe that. And so far we've got our players to buy into that. And the better we are in our prep, the better we'll play. And again, that doesn't always mean you're going to win the game. The goal is to play to our best every game.
Lobo women's basketball coach Mike Bradbury is with us. Lobos were winners last night, 73-67. They're 4-0 in conference. One other team is 4-0 in conference, tied at the top of the conference standings, and that is UNLV. Here come the Rebels on Sunday afternoon. It'll be a nationally televised game in the Pit. This has been the big bully in your league the last couple of years. Now, you got them last year at their place, but this is a big opportunity for your club. And I know, A, you're looking at it internally, but B, to get people out there and really make an impression on national TV and make it an atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. The last 3 championships, one of us has won. And we're the only 2 that's won one since prior to COVID. So, this is a big game, and it's why it's on TV. Usually when we play UNLV, it's on TV. So we need a huge crowd, and we've had some good weekend crowds. But I know there's going to be, 15-5 strong at the men's game on Saturday because they got a big one too. And we need those same 15-5 to show up again on Sunday.
Hey, Mike, how good is this UNLV team compared to the past? You look at them, they've lost 4 games, but then you say, all right, well, they lost to Arizona, who's really, really good. They lost to Baylor, who's really, really good. They lost to a really good Northwestern team. Like, you go through it and say, okay, damn, they're good, Oklahoma. But how are they in comparison to what they've been in the past?
They lost their big kid, Desiree, and they've adjusted well without her. They're good. How good I'll be able to tell you after we play them in person. But they played a brutal schedule, just like we did. And I think they got out at 8-4, and we got out at 7-6. But both of us played a really tough schedule. So I think we're both hardened and ready, for some tough competition in the league. It'll be interesting to see, and we'll, by the end of today, I'll have a good feeling of what our game plan is and things like that, because we're watching that currently, and we'll all day long, and then know even more after we see them in person.
And Coach, it's something that you talked about too, and this year more teams kind of stepping up in the non-conference, and as we get into it, we'll see how it's worked out for these squads. But just in the Mountain West, kind of as a whole, being more aggressive. Do you feel that should make the conference even tougher this season?
Yeah, absolutely. The teams in the bottom half, which have normally had losing records, those guys have winning records now. And it's because, one, they're better, but they've done a good job scheduling. Our league rank is significantly higher than it's been in the past. And the league as a whole is tougher. And, where there's been 2 or 3 teams that could win the regular season, probably the last 4 years. Now I think, there's legitimately 4, 5, or 6.
Is your thoughts on scheduling evolved over the years? I remember talking to you about, 5, 6, 7 years ago about scheduling, and it was, in some respects, it was about making sure we get wins, and the way the committees have looked at things now. Yeah, you look at teams like Northern Arizona who clipped you early. They're 12-4 right now. They're a lot better than people want to understand. You've got Gonzaga on there, Texas Tech. The way you've scheduled. Has your thoughts on scheduling evolved over the last bunch of years?
A little bit. I think my biggest thing is you want to schedule strength-wise based on how good you think your team is. Yeah. Okay? And when this schedule was made for this year, we thought we were going to have 13 returning players.
How do you know? Right? How do you know today anymore?
Well, you don't. And so, therefore, my philosophy may change again, Jeff, because we scheduled this brutal schedule with that in mind, and then turn around and we have a whole new team that has handled it very well, but we weren't quite ready for what got us, at the beginning. We hadn't come together yet. So I think everybody right now, the way the rules are and the way things are, every coach is kind of going back and forth on what's best because it's so new and there's no reference point.
And Mike, when we talk about NIL and portal, and I think the majority of conversations center around football and men's basketball, right? Everybody talks about, who opted out of bowl games or playoff games and men's basketball. It's affected your game just as much as it's affected theirs. And I don't think people realize that. And you've got to be just as active, whether it's NIL and it's finding funding and being in the portal and having no idea what your roster is going to look like on March 30th.
That's correct. I mean, you look at last year, we lose 4 starters. 3 went because they got more money, and 1 retired because she was hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you're supposed to do about that other than make sure you have enough money.
Yeah. And how do you do that? I mean, right. Do you work closely with the collective? Are you allowed to? And now I guess it's going to change in July when everything comes internal and there's going to be revenue sharing because it's going to change all again later this year.
That's correct. It's this starting now, which you're right. It's going to start this summer, but that's already in place now. Okay. Because you have to recruit now for the people that are going to get that money. Yeah. So, we should find out, hopefully soon exactly what everybody's budget is and what the plan is. And that, that's up to, up to each school to individually do that.
Whole different world than when you started coaching, isn't it?
Yeah. It's whatever that was, 32 years ago, something like that is, it's a lot different.
All right, let's get to what's really important. Did you watch the golf league on Tuesday? Did you get a little?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I watched about 30 minutes of it, Jeff, and it was, I was skeptical.
Yeah.
But I think I could get used to it.
Yeah, it's golf, right? That's what they keep telling me. It's golf. I loved it for a couple of things. I'll stare at golf because I don't care. I love the game, but I love the pace of play. I love the bleep talk in it, and I like that once they get around the green, like there was actually they were off the monitor and that green. I was just fascinated by the way that green rotates. They showed you the plates that make the whole undulation. Like I'm probably in every Tuesday unless there's Global Women's Basketball.
Yeah, I will watch it as much as possible. I'm a big sports fan, watch a lot of stuff. Is where I struggle is when I don't completely understand the rules and the strategy. And I don't have that yet because I only got to see about 30 minutes of it the other night.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get a handle on that to fully embrace it.
Yeah, me too. No, there was there's the hammer and the shot clock and the timeouts and all this stuff. So when you guys are on the road somewhere and you haven't gone up to Laramie yet, but when you're up there on a Tuesday night, grab JJ Buck and go sit in the lounge in the hotel. And
it's a little live golf like though, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah. Which is golf, right, Mike? I mean, we're going to watch golf.
You got it. And, it gets as there'll be no football here in another, few weeks. Yep. And then it'll just be basketball and, you can squeeze in a little Tuesday night golf.
Yeah, that's right. When you guys are, freezing somewhere in a mountain somewhere and, you and JJ sit down in the hotel lounge and, while you're game planning, you get a little golf league in the background. Hey, get yourselves out there. It's 2:00 on Sunday afternoon at the Pit. Tickets are available at golobos.com. And it's on CBS Sports Network. This is the 2 undefeated teams left in the Mountain West Conference. This is a big one. Make it an atmosphere. Lobos beat UNLV at their place last year. You got a great opportunity and a really nice team that's coming together. And go out and appreciate what Mike's put together out there with this Lobo women's basketball team. Hey, congratulations on the big win. Really appreciate you spending some time with us. Let's do it again sometime in the near future. But keep it rolling, and thanks for the time.
Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it.
All right, good luck tomorrow or on Sunday. Thanks, Mike. See you. Mike Bradbury is the women's basketball coach. Yeah, you get to talk to him all the time.
Yeah, talks to me enough. Dang it!
You're like, you go.
This guy again.
No, it was good, dude. I don't. Hopefully, I asked him some different stuff. But look, they got an opportunity now. Their path is at 11-6 with what their record looks like. Right? They're probably gonna have to win in Vegas, and so position yourself as best you can, and this is a big one.
It is, and they're the underdog on Sunday at home. Even at 4-0 and beating UNLV in their place last year, like this is a very good UNLV team, and this team is wrapping their mind around that, of just playing hard, executing the game plan, just give themselves a chance. And it's been a while since you've had this feeling with Lobo women's basketball. Like there's, all right, you can make it a buzz and marquee game Sunday afternoon. And he knows it. You're going up against NFL playoffs, a lot going on. Yeah. But I know people have been kind of waiting for that moment of, all right, what can be the spark? What can get people interested? And yeah, you're the underdogs, but you're at home. People are passionate, and it's an opportunity to get what should be the biggest crowd of the season for the Lobo women.
Go out and have fun with it. All right.
By the way,
yeah.
Kids 12 and under are free on Sunday.
Free is cheap. Yeah, no, that's affordable. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go. What you hear there, I'll reset you with the big stories as well coming off this morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Get ready. Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I got these the emails I read you. What is Jerry okay? Is Jerry first time I can remember? Bruce said that Jerry wasn't there. Jerry's fine. Jerry's with us. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. Good morning, Jerry Palm. How are you?
Define fine.
Well, I mean, you define that.
Apparently, my brain is on mountain time today.
All right. Well, then welcome to the show.
I got 4 inches of snow in between my ears.
Oh, man, you guys get 4 inches of snow. It's like whatever, right? They get 4 inches of snow in Dallas.
Yeah, it's 4 inches of snow is, Tuesday.
Well, they're talking exactly. They're talking about postponing the Cotton Bowl because they got 4 inches of snow for the third time in 30 years or whatever it is down there.
That would be traumatic for them.
Give me a chance on everybody's all over the Ohio State thing, and I get it. And they look really good. And there's a part of me, and I tell JJ all the time, I believe in like these stories in sports, right? The magic. And here's Ryan Day, and he was going to be fired, and they lose to their rival, and it's all over. And then he comes back and wins the national championship. Is that how this thing could play out?
Well, if his team continues to play the way it is, yes, then nobody can do anything about it because that team is the best team in college football, and it doesn't seem to be particularly close. They are clicking on all cylinders. This is what this team has always been capable of. And, over the course of a season, you're going to have, days that are just not as good, and you're still trying to figure things out early on and all of that, even when you're really talented. But this is, the prime example of peaking at the right time. Ohio State is peaking at the right time. And if they continue to play the way they are, Texas can't do anything about it. Notre Dame, Penn State, nobody can do anything about it.
What does it say about the way those guys feel about their head coach? There's always the narrative from the outside and then the inside. And you hear they love Ryan Day. They love Ryan Day as much as everybody in the alumni base hates Ryan Day.
Yeah. It does say something, I think. I mean, different things motivate players. Different players are motivated by different things. Their coach being under fire is probably going to light a fire under some of the players, but maybe not all of them. Some of them, it's like, okay, it's championship time, let's go. And some of them are like, this is my last chance to show myself for the NFL. So there are different motivations and combined motivations even for some of these players and others that I didn't mention. But yes, Ryan Day being under siege there, there are certainly going to be a segment of his players that are using that for motivation.
Jerry, what are you seeing out of this Texas team right now that all of a sudden it's, everyone says, it's not that good, yada, yada, yada. How do you think the Longhorns respond?
This is a really talented team, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. And they've got some pretty good receivers. Their quarterback is a good player. This is a really solid team, and if it wasn't Ohio State in their way, there aren't a lot of other teams you'd pick ahead of Texas. Their front line's as good as anybody's, and they're going to really, that's where Texas has an advantage maybe in this game, is that their defensive line against a speed-up offensive line of Ohio State, that could be where Texas can make a little hay and give themselves a chance, to win this game. But Texas has come up against a buzzsaw, and it's up to them to unplug it.
Notre Dame tonight against a Penn State team that's playing really well. Look, we haven't had a lot of good games. We've had one good game. I almost feel like, because we had the one good game and it was Texas who won it, that's why people are downplaying Texas, although you look at Ohio State and you're like, well, they're that good. This one is intriguing to me. Can Notre Dame score enough to win?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. And that's why I picked Penn State, is I don't trust Notre Dame's offense. By the way, that Notre Dame-Georgia game was a good game. The score may not have been, where it went down to the wire, but that was an entertaining game. And we saw, especially Freeman take some chances and trust his team, and where they had a chance to make big plays. That game could have easily gone sideways on him. So I thought that was a very entertaining game.
And he coached a hell of a game, by the way.
Down to the wire overtime.
Yeah, and Freeman coached a hell of a game, man.
Oh, yeah.
Give him credit.
Yeah. You don't see Kirby Smart get out-coached much.
No.
And I don't mean that as a criticism of Kirby.
I agree.
It's not like he coached badly, but, Freeman pulled some strings and things went really well, and they end up getting a W. They're going to need similar performance from both the team and the coaching staff, I think, against Penn State. Penn State, the reason I picked them is I think they're more versatile offensively, and I trust Drew Aller more than I trust Riley Leonard when it comes time to win the game. I don't trust Riley Leonard's passing, even though he passed well against Georgia, I thought, for him. It's not his main thing. And so I trust Penn State more. Their defenses are both really good. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game. But in the end, I trust Penn State's quarterback more than I trust Notre Dame's, and that's why I picked them. But I see this game could be really competitive in a toss-up and a low-scoring game.
Yeah, and it is interesting in this day of college football. They were looking at two teams in Notre Dame and Penn State that they're above average in the run game in terms of percentages and just play tight to get to this point.
Yeah. They can run the ball, both of them. And they both have really good defensive lines, that guys are going to play on Sundays next year. It looks like Abdul Carter is going to be ready to go for Penn State. That's obviously huge. He's their best player on defense, an All-American. So, I think running the ball, which both teams like to do, is going to be a bit of a challenge against these defensive fronts.
Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us on The Sports Animal. You read him every day over on CBSSports.com. All right, fill in the blank. Bill Belichick will coach blank years at North Carolina.
3.
3. Okay. All right. That's way more than I think. Yeah, maybe. I was just with all the overtures now from the NFL, and people were saying, well, he couldn't get a job in the NFL. That's why I went to Carolina. I called BS at that point. Now people are reaching out. I think he coaches one because I don't think he's going to go back on his commitment, right? I think he's just, the morals, the who the dude is. I gave them my word. But I
guess Brady reached out about the Oakland.
But that's a bad job.
They haven't been in Oakland for a long time.
Vegas.
The Raiders. Raiders job.
It's a bad job.
He said, no, I signed for here. I'm going to be here. So,
but that's a bad job, Jerry.
How do you said he's going to do at least 1 year?
Yeah. How do you win in Vegas right now? They don't have a quarterback. The roster's not that good. Like he can do more, have more success at Carolina. I just think the overtures that are coming and all the people who said nobody wants him, I thought was so overblown. I think he wants to do something and kind of change things and create something at Carolina. I think he does a year. And I think he's successful at it.
I'm sure they're going, if they don't draft a quarterback in the first round, they're going to sign one. But what do you got against Aiden O'Connell?
He's a marginal at best NFL quarterback. I got nothing against him.
I know.
I mean, that's all. How was bowl season for you? I looked at it. I thought there were a lot of good games. The television ratings seemed to be up across the board.
Yeah, that surprised a lot of people. They thought the playoffs would hurt bowl ratings, but in fact, it seems. I mean, I don't know if it helped or if it's just coincidence, but because 1 year's not a trend. But
that's right.
But it's encouraging, right? That the TV ratings were up. I watched as much as I could, and I enjoy bowl games. And in particular, I enjoyed the Alabama-Michigan game.
That was a good one.
Which was one that I was looking forward to, and ended up being fun. Saw some of Illinois, South Carolina. I tend to watch the Big Ten teams. Prioritize the Big Ten teams. There were some fun games out there, and the Mayo Bowl.
Yeah,
I was so glad Minnesota won because I knew PJ Fleck would be the first coach to actively embrace getting Mayo dumped on him.
Yeah,
but the whole Flava Flav thing was something that I was not expecting. And then the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
They resurrected.
Man, those guys have got bowl marketing.
They're the best.
That is a masterclass in bowl marketing.
They are the best.
What they do, that's fabulous.
Yeah, no, they are the best.
And it was a good game, too. So
yeah, they are the best. Jerry Palm is with us. That Michigan-Alabama game, by the way, went over really big at my house, too.
Yeah.
I bet it did.
Yeah, it was good. All right. You got you got Penn State and Ohio State. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hit me with what I saw today, and JJ, where did I see it? It's right here, where this proposal for the collaboration of the 4 power leagues would grant the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the ACC the right to manage postseason championships, like the men's and women's basketball tournaments. Did you see this? Yeah, and JJ, kind of talk a little bit about where this came from, because I get where the power is, I get where the money is.
It came from those conferences.
It came from them, so they basically want to take over the world. Right, yes. They want to take over Greenland and rename the Gulf of America.
and we'll have an NCAA tournament there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they wouldn't call it the NCAA tournament.
No,
if they take it
they
over,
call
probably.
it the power tournament.
Yeah, it's. I don't really like the idea of those guys running the basketball tournament.
No. Why are we breaking what's not broke? Honestly.
I think, no, I'm not a fan of those guys running really postseason at all. But if they're going to mess something up, mess up football because
they already have.
There's not really a lot going on. It's football's always changing anyway. I would not be in favor of them running the basketball tournament. I don't see how anything good comes from that.
All right, go back. I know Vicky got you started on a project. Go finish it. Don't leave things unfinished. Always appreciate the conversation. We'll catch you next. Are you going to Atlanta for the championship?
I am not.
All right. Well, then we'll catch you next Thursday.
But I'll be around. I'm going to basketball games this week.
All right. He is. You read him every day over on CBSSports.com. What you got? Oh, I thought you had something.
Me?
Yeah. I thought you had something else. Sorry.
Oh, no. Sorry.
No. Go finish it every day on the Twitter or on the X. It's at JP Palms CBS. And
I'm also on Blue Sky now on that same handle, and I'm actually spending a little more time there than I am on Twitter anymore.
Beautiful.
But I'm still hanging around that place too.
Enjoy your platforms. I'll catch you next week. Always appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
See you. He is Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, and he's okay. I think that's the biggest thing.
He is good.
He's okay. All right, 505-246-0610. Respond to anything he had to say. This whole thing with the power leagues just taking over everything. I mean, we want the Panama Canal and Greenland and Canada.
That is exactly what they're trying to do.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their...
With him, and I know this isn't on your... I don't believe it is on your production list today, but I wanted to hit this. Oh, it is on your list. So there was talk of the Orange Bowl press conference yesterday about should everybody be in a conference. And almost everyone's in a conference, but Notre Dame is not. Notre Dame doesn't need to be. Notre Dame's got their own damn network. NBC does whatever they want. Notre Dame is Notre Dame. So you always hear, well, the conference champions and Notre Dame. And Notre Dame. James Franklin is the head football coach at Penn State. They play Notre Dame tonight. And he was at the Orange Bowl press conference. He was sitting next to Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame. And they was talking about the opportunity that both teams have in front of them. And James Franklin said that the showdown is about representing our schools and our conferences. And then he kind of caught himself, right? Marcus Freeman was sitting right next to him. He says, well, I mean, our conference, excuse me. And then he went on later and he said, and this is up for conversation, but I don't think Notre Dame gives a damn, nor do they need to. James Franklin said it should be consistent across college football. This is no knock at Freeman or Notre Dame, but I think everybody should be in a conference. I think everybody should play a conference championship game, or nobody should play a conference championship game. I think everybody should play the same number of conference games. I was not a math major at East Stroudsburg, but just the numbers are going to make things more challenging if you're playing one more conference game. That was his quote. Does he have a point?
Yes. Yeah. There's definitely points to that of not just the conferences, but what happens at the end, playing a conference championship game kind of effect does that have on you, especially as we get a few more data points moving down the line.
So here's data points. Penn State did play. They played in the conference championship game, right? They played Oregon.
They did.
Now, Ohio State did not, even though they're in a conference. So they did play one extra game. Notre Dame ended their season November 30th. They didn't play again until December 20th. So they had almost a month off. It's when they hosted Indiana in the first round game. Right? Now, when this whole thing was crafted, this whole 12-team format, the athletic director at the time at Notre Dame, Jack Swarbrick, agreed that if the Irish were selected, they would not be eligible to earn a bye into the quarterfinals. That was the concession for not being in a conference championship game. That Notre Dame was not eligible for a bye. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's coach, was asked about it, and whether he has a strong opinion or not, he did not offer one. Quote, I'm a guy that thinks, tell us what we're going to do and let's go, and you move on. I love where we're at right now. Our athletic director, Pete Pavakwa, and our Notre Dame administration will continue to make decisions that are best for our program. Fair. I mean, he didn't say anything. He said, this is the situation I'm in. I'm not going to tell you whether I like it or not. He wasn't willing to put himself out there, which is fine. Penn State's coach Franklin said, the desire for greater consistency stems from the selection process. Committee members have a difficult enough time sorting through teams, and there's a lot of different paths and profiles, and they've got to determine strength of schedules and other factors in conference play. Quote from Franklin, how do you put those people that are in that room to make a really important decision that impacts the landscape of college football, and they can't compare apples to apples or oranges to oranges? I think that makes it very difficult. I'm going to tell you, that's the end of the quote. I'm going to tell you, I think this conversation goes no further than yesterday. I think the conversation was fine. James Franklin had that on his mind, and he's trying to show, they have an advantage over us and whatever. And I think Notre Dame could care less. I don't
Absolutely.
think they could not care less.
No, this is kind of just goes more into the push for power from those leagues.
Yeah, and those leagues, and Notre Dame's holding out. Now, if Notre Dame does join a league, and look, they're right in the footprint of the Big Ten. I don't even know what the hell footprint means anymore, though. Right? I mean, they're right square in traditional Big Ten country, right there in the heart of the Midwest. If Chicago's got a team, it's probably not Northern Illinois, dude. It's Northwestern, but more so it's Notre Dame, which is in South Bend, Indiana. If you want to go to Notre Dame, you probably flew into Chicago, right? But I listened to it, and I watched it, and I'm like, I get it. And I'm cool that that's how you feel, and I don't think you're the only guy who feels that way. I don't even have a problem that you go out and voice your opinion. But I firmly believe that nobody gives a damn. Because Notre Dame is powerful enough in its own right without a conference And I think we've watched it over the years. They're not going to be strong-armed into a league. They're in the ACC and in all non-football sports. Now, if they joined a league, would it be the ACC? Do they have to? No, they don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do a damn thing.
There would be a buyout for them, though, right? If they left the ACC to join the Big Ten or something, which whatever.
Yeah.
It's a buyout to them. I just found it really interesting, that conversation yesterday. Here's one that's a little interesting, and New Mexico State fans will take notice. Eli Stowers. Remember Eli Stowers? Eli Stowers was going to be the quarterback that was going to replace Diego Pavia at New Mexico State. Remember when he transferred from Texas A&M and he was a quarterback? And he was going to be the guy that took over. And then Diego Pavia became what Diego Pavia was. Eli Stowers was like a kind of package guy that came in and they turned into a tight end. And now he's projected as a mid-round pick in the NFL as a tight end and has turned into a stud tight end.
And where did he transfer?
Vanderbilt. He's at Vanderbilt with Diego. Eli Stowers said he thought about the NFL, but he's staying at Vanderbilt. All right, whatever. Stowers started at A&M.
Pavia and Stowers are going to try to sign like 10-year contracts.
100%, dude.
Vanderbilt. Will sue their way.
Will he make
an entire career?
Well, will he make more money? And I don't know what he's going to make at Vanderbilt next year. Will he make more next year at Vanderbilt than he would as a like a 5th round pick in the NFL? With no guarantee that he made the team?
Yes. With the no guarantee part.
Well, I mean, there's no guarantee he'd make the team, right? If you're a 4th, 5th round pick, there's no guarantee. Stowers said he wanted to develop being the best version of himself. So he goes back. Diego's there next year. Of course, Diego, the 2024 SEC Newcomer of the Year from Volcano Vista High School here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Diego won that landmark ruling to get that extra year of eligibility by challenging the NCAA stance on the junior college eligibility rules. So he'll have Stowers, his close friend and the team's leading receiver in 2025. But Vanderbilt hadn't been anything. They hadn't had any NIL. They hadn't had anything. They lost players to other power conference schools. Isn't it amazing what look, man, I don't know what part Jerry Kill played in this. I know what part Diego Pavia played in this. Vanderbilt is 7-6, won a bowl game. Beat Alabama, beat Auburn. It's kind of bonkers what's going on down there. I'm not telling you they're a national championship contender. But hell, dude, these guys that transfer from New Mexico State.
It's all thanks to New Mexico State.
I mean, it kind of is, right? It kind of is. It's insanity, man. All right, 505-246-0610. You still have time to get in. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. When we get back, we'll get you up to date. Everything you got to know as you go through your Thursday today. If you missed any of the conversations with Mike Bradbury and or Jerry Palm, you can find them wherever you get your podcasts. It'll be up on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You can click on the opening drive and it'll be there. It's the opening drive. He is JJ Buck. I am merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood.
Ohio State. One other thing I want to hit, and when do you think, are we getting close to Alex Bregman signing? Red Sox, Tigers, Blue Jays, Brewers are what I keep hearing.
Comes down to that final offer.
Yeah. What do you think he's the best fit? Like where's he got?
There's Nolan Arenado's in the mix too, just in terms of those teams looking for a third.
And he may waive his no trade clause.
So that's some moving pieces at the hot corner.
I love him in Detroit. I know that's not the most glamorous spot, but I mean, me and the DA can get on the same plane and go see our kids in Michigan, I guess, at that point. Right? I do like him there. The Red Sox thing is intriguing. You know what might be the best fit, though? Who wins every year but doesn't win the playoffs? It's the Brewers. Would he put the Brewers over the top, do you think?
No.
You don't think so? Okay. You don't like him in the National
There's not a dude in baseball that's not named Shohei Ohtani that could put a team over the top.
All right, fair enough. Do they win a playoff series? I mean, what's a better path to the World Series? It's the American League? Because you don't got to go through the Dodgers and the Padres?
Tigers are in that moment to pounce right now.
I kind of feel like the Brewers are too, though. But I love the
Brewers are one of those teams just consistently overlooked, and as you mentioned, they have an opportunity. Feels like every year in the postseason.
Yeah, and in that division, they got opportunities to win. Hey, Frank, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Frank?
Hey, guys, how's it going this morning? Got a little moisture. We'll take any kind of moisture here.
Isn't that the truth?
I just want to give a few questions to JJ about last night's game. It was congratulations for the Lady Lobos. But the guard, number 15, the Spain, I think she's a freshman. I think she has more turnovers than points. And then I really, really like number 10, that Laurel, her defense. And she hits a bucket or two. And then this UNLV game is going to be a real big test. I was going to ask JJ, is he doing the broadcast or is he just doing the radio?
Radio. Broadcast.
Well, it's not. It's TV game, so CBS Sports Network, but got you on the radio.
Oh, you got you on the radio? Great. Because it's that time of year where I'm going to have to set up 4 or 5 TVs because this streaming is kind of tough.
Yeah, it's hard to flip back and forth. You got a computer or two going, and you got the big screen on split screen, and yeah, it's that time.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a big sports weekend this weekend. So let's do it.
All right, man.
Bye.
See you. All right, Frank called at 505-246-0610. Yeah, it's look, this is I don't want to overplay it. I mean, this isn't a do or die game for them, but it's a real opportunity to make a statement and take control.
It's the biggest game they played at home in a long time in terms of legit hype around it, to get people interested in it. And if you look at UNLV over the last 3 years, you know what their record in conference play is?
I'm going to guess they've lost in 3 years. I'm going to guess they've lost 2 games.
Oh, not that good.
How many?
They're 50-4.
All right, I almost said 3.
But over the last 2 years, they went 18-0 and 17-1 last year. That one loss was
at home to New Mexico.
The unbelievable game.
Yeah, you did that
from the
game.
Lobos.
Was that your favorite game you've done as a broadcaster of that team? You did the clinching game in COVID year when they won the league championship at home. And I was in the building. They were starting to let people back in the building at that point, or
no?
How was I in the building? I remember sitting in that end zone when they won that.
Might have been there wasn't any fans in the Colorado Stadium.
Oh, then maybe they let a few media people in there. Yeah. But that was weird. Was that? I mean, I don't know if that was more fun than going into their place and beating a team.
It was just, even in a tight game, it was one of those wow moments. You weren't just in it back and forth, and then Cumber straight on, just wow.
Boom.
And it was a go ahead. UNLV still had a good chance to answer.
Do you like? And I know you love doing games in the pit. Do you like doing games in the pit? More than maybe going on the road and winning in front of hostile crowds. I guess maybe you don't get that many hostile crowds for women's basketball.
Yeah, the pit is a fun place because there is an atmosphere for women's basketball, but San Diego State, because they're so tough to beat. At least the Lobos have.
You went in there and ran them, didn't
you? That one on Saturday was a good one, meant a lot for the team. But San Diego State, UNLV, Boise State,
that's probably one,
and Colorado State. Like they get some atmospheres, always good teams, tough games.
So can I give you this? I caught the last 3.5 minutes of a women's basketball game last night. I kind of tuned in as I was took all my nighttime drugs and was getting ready to watch the first part of the San Diego State game, and they had the USC Maryland game on.
Juju Watkins,
and she's good, dude. That was a top 10 clash, number 4 and number 8 in USC, in a road game on the road at Maryland, and I was entertained. I was really entertained by that as well. Juju Watkins is legit, and USC. All right, so you get the Orange Bowl tonight. Enjoy that one. I forgot that the Orange Bowl was a semifinal game. Like bowl games, basically teams come in. Remember when I went back to the Orange Bowl golf tournament earlier in the fall? That was like the redefined bowl week, right? They'd never done one before because it's so short and it all comes together for me now. Thank you to Jerry Palm and thank you to Mike Bradbury. Both of them were with us today. You can listen to those conversations over on our website, sportsoutofabq.com. The Herd with Colin Coward is next. The Jim Rome Show will be after that. 2 Men On's here at 4. Lobo Talk at 6. And then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work. I know it was a rough morning for you. Prayers out to your family and hope they're safe in Southern California. JJ, big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy that. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we'll smell you tomorrow.
A New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion.
Accomplishing goals is hard. But when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.